for the establishment of friendship on a firmer and more lasting basis,
for the promotion of brotherly love
and kind feeling,
for the mutual benefit and advancement
of the interest of those with whom we sympathize
and deem worthy of our regard.
We have resolved to form a fraternity,
believing that thus we can most successfully accomplish our object. Hello, brothers, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Theta Omicron Old Gold Pikecast. I'm your host, Dave Pittman, from the Theta class. We have a very full program tonight, so let's just dive right in. As always, I encourage you to extend the Pikecast fun by tweeting along with us using hashtag Theta O Pikecast. Sorry about that. And be sure to mention the Alumni Association at Theta O Pikes and actives at ISU Pike, or me at The Social Pit. And many of our guests have Twitter handles also, so watch for those whenever you see one of the garnet-colored slides. On your Pikecast screen, you can also send questions or comments to us. Some of my buddies like to use that feature to heckle the on-screen talent. You can use it however you want to. We're happy to get your comments and questions. And finally, you can connect with the Alumni Association by email and on Facebook. I've listed those there for you. And we would really love it if you would tell us what you would like to see in future episodes. Before we go into the planned program tonight, we have some somber news about one of our brothers. And here to share that is Jason Hill, our Alumni Association president. Jason? Jason, you're on mute. Sorry.
Thank you. Officer David Tinsley died in the line of duty from natural causes on September 11th. David was initiated into the Theta Omicron chapter on October 28, 1986, and he was at ISU for 1 year before transferring to and graduating from Ball State. Brother Tinsley served the people of Fort Wayne for 16 years as a member of the Fort Wayne Police Department. I know you will join me in sending condolences to Brother Tinsley's family. In memory of him, we'll have a short moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And now joining us once again is Dave Peterson, the chapter's current SMC, who is going to recap this summer's annual Pike International Convention. Dave, take it away.
Thank you, David. So this summer we had the opportunity to send 11 men to Richmond for the biannual convention. The trip started out Tuesday, a day before the convention started. The 11 guys went to DC and spent the day at Ed Pease's house and had a day of visiting monuments and the Capitol building and the Library of Congress. And so very grateful to have Ed allow us to stay at his place the day before convention. It was a great start to the trip. The next day we traveled from DC to Richmond to start our week at convention. During convention, our members attended legislative sessions and also the committees that were forming the legislation that were being brought to the whole body. We were able to share our opinions and also advice from how our chapter and how these legislation affects our chapters. Members also had the opportunity to attend education sessions like they would at any other Pike University event. I think one of the highlights of the trip was going to the University of Virginia and seeing 47 West Range. We got to see the room of where our fraternity, Pi Kappa Alpha, was founded in the University of Virginia. And so that was a very special moment to kind of see where we all started and how large we've come, because 47 West Range is a very small room. It was also a very nice tour to get to see the University of Virginia. And also later that night, we had a dinner with all the active members that were in Richmond and also all the alumni that were in Richmond. We had a really lovely dinner with all actives and alumni sharing stories and just having a good time. So it was a very special evening. And at the end of the convention, we wrapped up with the major awards ceremony where we were awarded our 10th consecutive Smythe. Including with we didn't only win the Smythe, we were also recognized with the 100% 5 Pi KA Club, which is the endowment fund for Pike University, We were recognized with the scholarship plate for having excellent scholarship, and then also recognized with having a 100+ man chapter. Some of the hardware that we took home was obviously the Smythe, the Orion's Award of Excellence, and we also took home the Programming Award for Recruitment. So we had a very great and fun trip, learned a lot, and had a wonderful time. And also our alumni board, or our alumni association, also won an award.
Thanks. Yeah, we were recognized for the Nestor Award, which is the award that's given to alumni associations. So a big thanks to Dave Pittman for all of his work on the Pikecast, because that really was one of the things that everybody wanted to know how that was done. And David, is just to recognize him here. He's the one who's driving this. And really, we are the only chapter that's doing it. And we actually were doing Pike or webcasts as a way to communicate with alumni prior to the international fraternity starting it. They actually saw the success that David was having here and leveraged that for the international fraternity. So huge thank you to David for helping to make that happen. And if you haven't been to the international convention in a long time, and I have been to the last couple, but I took a 15, 20-year break in going to these. They really are great. And the next one that is coming up will be in 2 years in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand. Not sure how that one got past risk management, but that's the point, is for all of these guys to be at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas in 2020. And if you just come for dinner the night before or as much as you want to, but it really is a neat experience, and it's something that I enjoy attending. And it's great to meet people from all around the country who are also brothers, but also spend some time with some of the actives as well. So if your schedule permits, come to 2020 if you're in the area, or just feel like a weekend getaway to Las Vegas. It really is something that alumni can benefit from. And even if you just come to the dinner that usually has some of the Theta O alums and actives there, it's a great experience. So the international convention is a highlight for me, and thank you, Dave, for sharing your experience as well.
Yeah, and thanks for all the alumni that came and met with all the actives in Richmond. It was a blast talking and meeting all of you guys, so thank you.
Very cool. Thanks to both of you for being there and representing the chapter and the alumni convention. And I believe Brandon Baisden was there too, so we'll hear from Brandon a little bit later too in the program. Next up is one of our newer alumni. Kyle Varble is a 2017 grad who wasted no time in taking on new projects for the chapter once he graduated. Kyle, welcome to Pikecast.
Thanks, David, for having me. And as you said, even though I'm a younger alumni, I'm certainly looking forward to being able to give back, since there's so many other alumni sponsors who've got us to where we are today. So I'm going to share with everybody that's listening 2 projects that I'm currently helping lead. The first is the Digital Archive Project, which we started almost 2 years ago whenever I was an undergrad. We recognized that with the new layout of the grounds, we no longer had all the wall space to hang all the composites. So it was our vision to digitally save all these different memories from the past 40 years in the form of pictures, videos, press releases, magazines, and other memories onto some type of an online page. Through that, it's been a very collaborative effort between the Housing Corporation, the Active Chapter, and the Alumni Association. And we've saved over 4,000 different photos and 21 different videos, including each of these Pikecast episodes as well. Right now, we're working on tagging the photos so that it can become searchable. And in that, you could type in, say, Ed Pease's name, and there'd be 41 different images of Ed throughout the years of the past, 40 years, from when he founded the fraternity, his service at Memorial Headquarters, the 29 different large composites, the groundbreaking ceremony, housing dedication, and just all these other memories throughout the years. So the future vision of this is to allow brothers to access these pictures from home, and then to also be able to digitally display these memories on possibly a touchscreen monitor within the Heritage Center of Phase 2 of the housing campaign. So the other project that we're working on is it's called the 1868 Fund, and this fund is kind of created in line with Pi Kappa Alpha's heritage. As we continue to expand on the grounds, that already the property is valued at over $2.3 million. There is some, unexpected maintenance that occurs as well. So just this summer, there was about $3,500 in some different unplanned expenses due to plumbing or rainwater encroachment or some other issues. So we're establishing this fund so that we can, have kind of a rainy day fund for some of these unexpected expenses without tapping into the housing campaign, funds for expansion purposes. So this fund has been set up in different increments. You can go online to the link and sign up for a $8.68 recurring donation or $18.68 or other creative amount of your choosing so that we can get some donations in there. So with both of these projects, I do need your support. If you'd like to help with the digital archive project, we do need help tagging the photos, especially photos of people within different generations. Our team's a little bit younger, but the software is easy to use and we can easily coach you how to do it. Also, if you're going to be at homecoming, if you bring some photos with you, we hope to have maybe a scanner there. We can directly scan in some of those pictures, or you can give them with me and I'll mail them back to you. My email address is also there in case you'd like to send them directly to me. And we do hope to unveil the SmugMug website at homecoming, so we hope to see you there. Regarding the 1868 fund, you can sign up. The link is there on the screen to begin those reoccurring monthly donations. Please email me any questions that you have. See me during homecoming, and if you're interested in being on our solicitation committee, we're seeking younger alumni members to be a part of that, so please let me know. Other than that, that kind of concludes the current projects that we're working on.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kyle. As a former chapter historian, I really appreciate your efforts, and I'm sure many other guys do too, to collect and document the chapter's storied history. I recently had a Groupon, and I scanned 1,000 photos, and of those, I have several that I'm going to be sending your way very shortly. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we have Greg Goode returning back to the program. Several of you have sent me notes asking for an update on the Pike House and its plans for the future. And Greg is the man for that. He is the president of the House Corporation. So welcome back, Greg. What's going on these days?
Well, thank you, David, and big thanks to Kyle Varble. I'll touch up a little bit on that 1868 fund, but he's done just an extraordinary job of some leadership there. So I have the great privilege and honor to serve as the president of our housing corporation. It's my second turn as serving on the board of the housing corporation. It's a great way to communicate the myriad wonderful updates in the life of Theta O, and it's a great way to build continued brotherhood among alumni. And keep in mind, this is a group of individuals who serve on the board and represent the different generations who experienced chapter life and the life at Indiana State during very different times as compared to what life is like today for the undergraduate man at Indiana State University. The Housing Corporation meets generally 4 times a year during the calendar year, and although we tend to get most of our business squeezed in during those 4 meetings, we occasionally have to snag a 5th meeting via a conference call. I want to highlight a couple of things here for you this evening. First, the annual meeting of the board. It's going to take place on October the 13th at 10:30 a.m. Of course, most of us will recognize that as homecoming Saturday, and our goal is to have the 1-hour annual meeting at the grounds starting immediately after the parade. We're targeting around the 10:30 time frame. And we want to make certain that we end the meeting with plenty of time for our brothers to get out to the stadium and support the alumni tent and the football team, the Fighting Sycamores. So if you've had the opportunity to watch some of the parade and you'd like to get a better feel for the business of the Housing Corporation, everybody is welcome to attend. And again, that'll take place at the grounds. I cannot stress enough how important the grounds as a facility is to the chapter, as well as to the university, and indeed the community. We all know that being able to congregate together in a supportive environment enhances support for one another and the lifeblood of the Theta O chapter, and the grounds is something very special. From my generation, I thought we had something special in Sanderson Hall on the 8th and 9th floors, but what's been so rewarding is for each forthcoming generation to build on the great work of the generation that had preceded it. And it has culminated with this magnificent facility that we call the grounds, and it has dramatically, I think, enhanced the vibrancy of our chapter. But it's also been a great tool for Indiana State University to help sell the university to those individuals who are coming from all parts of the state and the country, and in some cases the world. And a number of outside the chapter student and other university organizations have already been able to utilize the great spaces that the grounds has to offer. So it has enhanced life and student life for Indiana State University. And then it wasn't all that long ago along that 7th Street corridor in the Terre Haute community where there were dilapidated houses, very rundown state. And so we've been able to help the community clean up its image, so to speak, along that 7th Street corridor, which links Indiana State University to the Union Hospital. And we're certainly, I think we all can take some pride in that. Some key things I want to leave you with have to do with maintenance, possible expansion of the grounds, as well as board membership and drilling down even further community committee membership for those who may want to serve and help support the chapter in that way. Kyle spoke of the maintenance fund. This is crucial. We have all worked so hard to raise the funding to get the grounds to the point of where it is as it stands today. We need to preserve it. And a little bit goes a long way in preserving it. The more that we allow certain problems to fester in a facility, the harder and the more expensive it becomes to fix them. And so I want to encourage everybody to maybe contribute as much as they can into this 1868 fund. And let's stay on top of the maintenance of the ground so that we don't run into a problem in the future. We'll talk at a future meeting about the possible expansion of the grounds. And at this stage, we're in a very preliminary stage, and we'll be working with Brother Ed Pease, our chapter's founder, on a potential feasibility study. And we want to make sure that every brother who has a vested interest in the future of the facility is going to have a say in helping us determine whether or not an expansion is in the cards at this time. And finally, with regard to board membership, we want to encourage anybody who'd like to participate as an alum to consider possibly serving on the board. And one way to try it out is to serve on a committee. And during my tenure as president, we have formed 3 committees relating to finance, the facility itself, as well as development, which will take the leadership role in this potential feasibility study. So with that, again, it's just a great opportunity for me to provide about a 4-minute update here. There's a lot of great things going on, and we encourage everybody to come out for the annual meeting. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Greg. And I know we'll have you back many times for additional updates, not only on what's happening with the House Corporation, but in your role with the university as well. We're very interested in hearing about the March to the River, Holman Center updates, and many more things. So we'll have you back on again.
Sounds good. Thanks.
And I need to apologize to all of you viewers at this point. I realized during Greg's presentation that you hadn't been seeing the slides up until this point. So I will fix that in the post-production. And if you want to watch the first 10, 12 minutes or so of replay, you will be able to see the slides. And I do encourage you to do that because Mr. Peterson had some great slides of the convention, and Kyle Varble's slides showed more about the 1868 fund as well as the Smug Mug photo project. So please do watch those. And again, my apologies. So now we turn it over to Brandon Baisden for the Military Brothers of the Month. Brandon is dialing in, so he will not be on video. I'll just turn mine off, and Brandon, you can take it away.
Thank you, David. Hello, brothers. It is my privilege to introduce you to three of our fellow brothers who have served in the military. Our first one is Brother Bill Long. He served in the U.S. Army as a major for 9.5 years. You can see he's also served 2 tours in Germany. Brother Long currently is a superintendent of schools here in Indiana. So just give you a little tidbit of Brother Long there. The next slide should be Brother Todd Pollock. Brother Todd currently is in the Navy. He is a reservist, but he is called up for active duty. He is on deployment currently. We're unable to disclose where he's at the moment, but we do wish him well and welcome back home when he's returned. He is currently an E6 in the Navy, and you can see there that he's also had many duty stations here in the United States. Our last brother for September is Brother Daniel Dykeman, United States Air Force. He just finished in 2017 as a staff sergeant, and he was also in security forces like Brother Todd. So we wish all of these gentlemen that we thank you from our brotherly hearts for your service, and welcome back home.
And thank you very much, Brandon. I really enjoy the work that you do and appreciate the work that you do to put these back, to highlight these brothers in the military. And all of us thank you, fellows, for your service. Now we move away from the military and take a look at another group of marchers. And here to explain exactly what that means is Al Perone. Hi, Al. Welcome back to the Pikecast.
Well, hi, David, and thank you for having me back again. I'm beginning to feel like the old man that was at the end of 60 Minutes that died recently. Was up at the end of every show. So, thank you, Andy Rooney. There we go. I've been asked to talk a little bit about some historical event that's been on campus, and for those of us that were in school with me, that historical event didn't exist. We had homecoming in tandem, and those are now 50-something years old, and the homecoming parade was almost 100 years old, but now we have March to the Arch. This is an arch that was built back in the late 90s on the corner of 3rd and Cherry Street. For those of you that remember, there was a gas station and a laundromat there, and so the university built this beautiful rotunda, and in the middle it has a seal of the university that you can see in the middle of the picture. And the tradition is that during orientation or during welcome week, the freshmen after the convocation march over to the arch and step on the seal and officially become sycamores. And as they pass through the seal, you can see in the upper left there are some lots of university staff members, faculty, the president, and are all there to greet them and high-five them. And then the marching band is playing as they move on to their next event for the evening. We do have a drone shot of this year's March Through the Arch. It's a 22-year tradition that as students step on the seal that's in the middle there, they officially become sycamores, and people are there to greet them, the faculty, staff, the president on the other side, and the marching band, and a tradition we started in 1997 and has gone on for quite some time.
If you've tuned into any previous podcast, you've heard us talk about Super Homecoming. It's now less than 1 month away. So let's look at how first the chapter and then the university are preparing. And for the chapter side of things, we welcome Pike Homecoming Chairman Ross Luttrell.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on this podcast. I really appreciate it, first off.
Well, it's our pleasure. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you, first of all, where are you from and what are you studying, things like that?
Well, first off, I'm from Terre Haute. I went to Terre Haute South, and I'm currently studying computer engineering at ISU.
Okay, excellent. And what year are you?
I'm a sophomore right now.
All right. So Very good. Let's just dive in then and have you talk to us about what the chapter is doing for homecoming this year.
Okay. Well, first off, this year it's a little bit different with floats. We're not actually using floats this year. We're going to be using golf carts instead. Apparently, the university said fraternities haven't had enough time or money. I can understand the money issue, but they're saying we're not going to have enough time. So we won't get our golf carts until the week of homecoming, October 8th, and we'll have like maybe 2 to 3 hours to work on it, all the way up to October 12th, which a lot of our guys are kind of like bummed out because we like to go over the top and make our float look good. But this year we're going to have to make our golf cart look good. And as well as Sycamore Think, we're hoping to get another victory this year as well. We're looking pretty good. We're paired with Alpha Chi Omega as well. And for the strike team, we've been practicing over the summer, getting better. We had a lot of guys get injured and come back, but we have a pretty solid roster right now. And the newest event the university has is called Royal Sycamore. It's like high school homecoming king and queen, except anybody can become a Royal Sycamore. It's 5 people. It's just academics, knowing people around campus and who would best represent ISU overall. And 5 people, you can be 5 males, 5 females, or 2 males or 3 females. It can be anyone. And that's about it so far for a homecoming, I'd have to say.
Okay, sounds like some great preparations, and I bet many of the alumni are thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, which is this whole deal with no floats and using golf carts instead sounds like a ploy to try to make it even so that Pikes won't win every year. But
I honestly think that's the reason why they're doing it, because our float last year just dominated everyone else's last year.
Yeah, no,
it was really good.
Well, good luck to the chapter on all of that. We hope the trike team has a safe race. Dave Peterson is on the team, so Dave, good luck to you. Have a safe race and a speedy one. And right before we came on the air tonight, he told us that he looks forward to hanging the trike up in the valley, which is, of course, the tradition when you win. So we hope that happens. And now we're going to turn it over to another Pike who happens to be a part of the ISU staff, and that is Ben Kappes. And Ben is the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement Outreach, and he's a Pike from the Gamma Beta class. So, Ben, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Welcome, everybody. So we're gearing up for our homecoming on our side. It's going to be pretty awesome. But just to kind of go over a couple things, Friday night at 4 p.m. the trike race will start with the women's race, and then 30 minutes or so after will be the men's race. And then after the Pikes win, of course, there'll be a post-race celebration at our favorite spot. The Valley, let's be honest. And then Saturdays are, and then Friday night on our end, we have the Distinguished Alumni Awards, which is our association's, the university's association's highest honor to our alumni that have given back so well to the university. And then Saturday, that's the biggest day. That's the best day of the year. We start at 9 a.m. with the homecoming parade, and kick that off and show everyone the cool golf cart floats that people are putting together. And then 11 a.m. will be Tent City. That's when it opens. So the Pike tent will be ready to go. And then the big alumni tent, we're doing something a little bit different this year. You got to have a football ticket, or be part of the President's Society, or be part of the varsity club, or be part of the Blue Club. Giving portions of the foundation, and that'll just get you into the door. We'll give you a bracelet. So you got to have one of the 4. We're doing something a little bit different with the big homecoming tent in the middle. You can't sit. 2 o'clock we'll kick it off, and then right after we win the football game at 5 will be the super homecoming celebration at 5 to 6:30 at the grounds. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. It's going to be a good time. And then a special shout out to Brother Pete Jones for helping organize the super homecoming. I think he does a great job with communicating with Jason, and I think it's going to be an awesome weekend. We're pretty excited about it.
Great. And yes, thank you, Jade, very much. And Ben, thank you. I know you're in charge of the tent city this year, so we look forward to great activities out there and seeing all the brothers. And of course, seeing some of the great photos that Kyle and company have been collecting. So it'll be very much fun. And it sounds like it's going to be a homecoming to remember, even for those of us who have trouble remembering how old we are from day to day. But I, for one, am very excited to be heading back to campus with a bunch of my cronies, and I hope to see you all there. So now it's Thursday, and so I'm going to do a little throwback Thursday to the trike race of 1987. That year, in the words of Chris Davies, we got our asses handed to us by the reigning villainous rivals ATO, which of course is not even on campus anymore, just as an aside. Immediately after that race, Chris and Chad Thiemann decided that would not happen again. So they got a bunch of guys together, and the team rode very hard all through the summer of '88. And going into the trike race of '88, they were in second place behind the hated Zeros with just 6 laps to go. But they were close enough to capitalize when the ATOs had a equipment malfunction. Their chain broke. And so the Pikes took the checkered flag. After that race, Chris said, all right, we won it, but we're not going to have it be that close next year. And he was right. In 1989, with Chris serving as a rider coach, they rode away with a strong, clean repeat victory. And that momentum carried over through most of the 90s when the Pikes were the team to beat. Now, Chris is still helping Pike riders through his business, Fitness Solutions in Terre Haute. In the upper right photo there, the guys have gone out to Fitness Solutions several times. They've worked out there. Chris allows them to come in and they can work out for free, just as long as they kind of work it off there in a trade. But he is open to helping them as much as they want this year and any year. And once again, Trike team, we wish you the best of luck. And so with that, that's a wrap for another Pikecast. I thank you all for watching, be it live or if you're watching on the replay. Thank you for persevering with us through some of the technical challenges today. But hey, we're learning as we go along. Please take a moment. As soon as I click close, a little survey will pop up. Take a moment to complete that survey for us. Let us know what topics you would like to hear about in the future. And we hope to see you at Super Homecoming. Tell all your buddies to watch the replay if they missed it. Until next time, booah booah.